and gentlemen, the Zombie Hulk. Very nice.
All right, guys. Who wins? If the stuff is going down, who wins between the two of you? Him. You're deferring to him. Why? I don't understand.
He's got the camo.
He's got the camo, and you kind of stand out, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And you got what? A sniper rifle?
Yep.
So you can hit him from pretty long range, I guess.
You can run, but you can't hide.
He can run, but he can't hide.
Plus, I can't see a thing in this helmet.
Can you breathe? Can either of you breathe right now?
Sure.
You're okay? Because I'm kind of worried about you.
Okay.
When you have to take a leak or something, what do you do? I mean, I don't understand where it pokes out of.
You don't.
You don't. So you both really have to pee really badly right now. Actually, I kind of do too.
It gets messy.
It gets messy. Oh, Jesus. Well,
like a half hour now.
Really? A half hour? What, do you got prostate problems or something?
Probably.
You got to go every half hour? You should probably get checked out, man. They don't have some kind of stormtrooper HMO or something?
I've been suited up for about 3.5 hours now, so about
well, there you go.
3 hours in, I had to go.
Okay, well, that makes a little more sense to me. All right, guys, well, this guy's the champ. Who just... Was that you?
No, of course not.
Don't start screwing with me now. I don't appreciate that. I'm caught in the crossfire if the goes down. Say again.
We'll call Vader on you.
Pull a Vader on me. Hey guys, appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Take a leak for God's sake. Take care of yourself. Take care of your prostate.
Support your troops.
Support your troops and take care of your prostate as well.
Never forget the Death Star.
Never forget the Death Star. A lot of stuff to remember here. Write it down.
It was very strange to be in these breaks, and that's why there will never be an Evil Dead, another Evil Dead. You'll be fine. You know what? Let's address that. Let's go there. You know what's going to happen? We're going to spend 3 years working on this movie. I'll have a near-death experience every other day. It's the most miserable existence of my life. And then what's going to happen, it'll show up, I'll come back to this convention, and I go, hey, what did you guys think of Evil Dead 4? I was alright. It wasn't as good as Army of Darkness. You know, Army of Darkness wasn't as good as Evil Dead 2, and that wasn't as good as the original. So, that's why. Never satisfied. Because you start watering it down. Come on. Jason goes to space? Really, guys? Really? You are so out of ideas. Ash goes to New York.
All right, we're back here, showroom floor. I'm now joined by my main man, Ed. How's it going?
How are you?
It's going?
Good.
Ed's a bit, as we would say, a Comic-Con veteran. How many years have you been coming to these things?
Roughly about 10 years.
10 years.
But there's been some years where they didn't come, so
Right,
I couldn't come.
Right,
so
right.
that doesn't count.
Right. Yeah, 10 years. So nothing here kind of surprises you. People walking around in costumes, outfits, you've pretty much seen it all.
Yeah, you have everybody from the awe-inspiring to the truly bizarre here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. So, what have you seen here that's kind of caught your eye?
Well, right now, lately, because the Four Horsemen are these artists that sculpt action figures, I'm really into the action figures, and they've been doing the Masters of the Universe line. And we wouldn't really have Masters of the Universe if it wasn't for Conan. And they finally got around to releasing the prototypical design that they had for the whole line, which was based on Conan. So they released that figure, and I got it, but I revamped them a little bit. I souped them up a little bit, so to speak.
Now, when I was over there with you, we were checking them out. You were showing me some of the figures.
Yeah.
Now, one in particular, Vicor, stood out. And I know you know a little bit more about the He-Man Conan, so for some of our viewers, kind of share that story.
Right, you mentioned Vicor. They couldn't call him Conan because that's, got all these rights tied into that. So, but they released him looking exactly like Conan, but calling him Vicor.
Ah, interesting.
And he's part of the Masters of the Universe line. He's one of the original He-Men before Adam got the sword and all of that.
So who came first? Was it Conan or was it He-Man?
Oh, Conan. Conan's been around since the late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now that you mention it, they do resemble each other. And what are kind of the differences?
The difference is that He-Man has more of a sci-fi twist to it as well.
I see.
Some futuristic stuff, some technological things like weapons, like guns that you won't see in a Conan.
Right.
Conan is strictly sword and sorcery. You know?
Interesting. Now, I know you're such a little bit of an expert in this field. I know you, and what I'm so impressed with is now I want Ed to show us some of his figures here.
The customs, yeah.
Yeah, right, the customs. So let's check some of these out. You know.
Well, we were just talking about Vicor, so we'll start off with him.
Right.
And so, you know, this is the hottest thing out right now is the Four Horsemen sculpts of the Masters of the Universe. And as you can see, it's pretty much Conan. I mean, very recognizable. Looks like the Frazetta painting and everything.
Right.
So because it looks like a Frazetta painting, I went out and found a blade that looks just like the blade that Frazetta painted for Conan. And gave him earrings, of course, which the figure did not have.
Right.
And you know, gave him a metal skull here, so that it looks more intense.
Right.
But you know, switching to another subject,
I can hold this one, which is awesome.
we have Doc Savage is the first superhero that we know of. I mean, there's others before him, like mythological characters like Hercules and what have you.
Right.
But Doc's really the first print, you know, pulp fiction comic book character. As a matter of fact, he had the Fortress of Solitude before Superman.
Wow.
Yep, he retreated to the North Pole when he was, you know, chilling and needed to meditate, and he would go and figure things out there. He had all the gadgets Batman had before Batman had it.
So what you're telling me,
he's the original superhero.
So what you're telling me is that a lot of these things that we hold for Superman, Batman, you know, they came
from Doc Savage, and you know, they've tried to make a movie out of him, and it's all tied up with the rights and everything. Right now, DC has the rights to do the comic, so hopefully that's a good sign that we may see a movie in the future. So yeah, he's a very interesting character. So I took basically the Submariner's body from Marvel Legends, and Reed Richards' boots, and Thor's arms, and Doc Samson from the Hulk, his head. And then I used friendly plastic, which you can buy at any art store, and you melt it in boiling water, and sculpted the Widow's Peak, which is a radical Widow's Peak that James Bama painted for Doc Savage. He used to go all the way down to here, and you'd look at him like, what kind of a freak is that? And so that's why his hair looks so strange. And he's got the laser gun there.
Right.
And another one from his era was Tarzan. I knew they would never make a really decent Tarzan, so I made a Tarzan
and let's
using,
remind the audience that you made all of this.
Well, not entirely.
Okay.
These are Iron Fist's legs, you know, from Luke Cage and Iron Fist, the Marvel comic. So it's the legs of Iron Fist. The body is from Vega from Street Fighter.
Okay.
The head, I'm trying to recall, it was from the legendary comic book Heroes. It's some character that had claws. I used his head because it had a perfect, like, chiseled face to make Tarzan. Right. And then I used a little leather there and painted it with the leopard spots and gave him a good blade. And here's Nakima to go with.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, he didn't hang out with Cheetah. That was just for TV. It's Nakima. That's the real monkey.
See, you can always count on Ed here for the true knowledge.
Right.
The true knowledge. The true knowledge. These are awesome. Cool. These are awesome.
Glad you appreciate it.
I think you need to start getting paid for these here, Ed. This is kind of we need an Ed line.
It's time for them to start paying the rent.
Right.
Well, actually, the mortgage.
Right, the mortgage. You always need a little bit of income, and that's very impressive. Now, before we go, Ed, and of course I'm gonna let you go back to shopping and all of those exciting things. And I see you have a weapon there too, but we're not gonna break that out there. We don't want to. We don't want to break out. We don't want to promote the weaponry.
We don't want to scare folks.
Yeah, we don't want to scare folks. Ed's a nice guy. We don't want to scare him. So before you go, I'm gonna test your knowledge really quickly. I have not told Ed these questions. You know, it's going to be a versus. I want you to tell me in between these superheroes.
Okay.
Who would win in a battle? Okay.
All right.
Are you ready? This is a big superhero summer, as we know.
Right.
Green Lantern, Captain America. Who came out in June? Thor. Big battle. Marvel really doesn't pit their characters together. I mean, against each other that much, do they?
Well, actually they do, but it's usually some misunderstanding or a villain has tricked one of them, so they fight each other.
Right. So, between Captain America and Thor, who would win?
Well, I'd have to go with Thor. He's a god. Cap
Damn,
is a
man.
human. He's
That was pretty
amped
easy.
up, you know. I mean, you know, he's amped up human, but he's no god.
Man, that was kind of quick. You're right, no contest.
And even if Cap could put up a fight, all Thor would have to do is twirl his hammer around a little bit, open up a dimensional vortex, and send him somewhere else.
Wow.
So he could just get rid of him.
Thor versus the Hulk.
Well, if Thor weren't so stupid to engage the Hulk in a fight and used his hammer to open up that vortex I told you about to take him to another dimension, then Thor could just get rid of him.
Okay.
But if Thor's going to stand there and try and fight him, no one can stand there and fight the Hulk.
Wow. No contest.
Right.
No contest. Now, what's interesting is we were talking about Superman the other night.
Right.
Superman, and we were talking about the storyline from a long time ago with Doomsday. Now, a little bit here. Okay.
Right.
Now you were making comparison to Doomsday and was it the Hulk?
Well, yeah. I
And
mean,
then-
the Doomsday doesn't have anything the Hulk doesn't have.
Right.
So if they're telling me Doomsday can beat Superman,
Right.
that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you know, I think Superman would understand, okay, I can't beat this guy in a fist fight, but I have other options, you know? So I'm not buying that ever even happened. As far as I'm
interesting.
concerned, Doomsday did not kill Superman, no matter what you read.
No matter what you
Right,
read.
it
Got
was-
that? No matter
yeah.
what you read. So, big summer powwow. Who wins? Between Thor, Captain America, Green Lantern. Who wins that big powwow?
Well, the Green Lantern is very powerful. He has a tremendous imagination, so he can manifest almost anything. I think one of the ones in Marvel that would really have something for him would be the Silver Surfer.
Ah, I see.
But I think Thor might too.
Yeah.
But that would be a hell of a fight. Now, Cap, you got to have Cap with Daredevil and the Black Panther and guys like that. He can't be hanging out with. I mean, he can hang out with them, but he can't beat, Thor or the Green Lantern.
Right.
So they're not in the same league.
And the Optimus Prime would have a chance against any of them?
Yeah, sure. Some of the more pedestrian ones.
Oh, got you. Some of the more pedestrian.
Yeah.
All right, Ed. Thank you for all the knowledge. Thanks for joining us. Love the
Sure
work.
thing. Thank you.
I'm gonna let you get back to doing what you do.
All righty.
Just 10 years back.
Peace.
Don't buy too many weapons and stuff. Don't do that. Ed. All right. We'll be right back. You're watching Comic Vibe.
Nom, 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 nom.